This is Alex and Noam. We genuinely believe one of the best ways to become a better screenwriter is simple. Read more screenplays.
That's why we started the Screenplay Society. Whether you're writing your first script or your 50th, we'd love for you to join us.
Read with us, challenge your ideas, and fall in love with screenwriting all over again.
The Screenplay Society. Come for the conversation.
Stay for the stories.
Hi, welcome to our very first session of the Screenplay Society. This is Alex, I don't know where you are.
I'm down there, but yeah.
Alex and I, we met in the Masters. We did together. And also, we met you, Sania. And I want to introduce you, Valentina. She participates in a script workshop I run. And yeah, welcome to this moment, to this opportunity to just talk about films. And we're ready to kick off with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, we were just saying before, Valentina, how it was a different experience to watching the film. Have you seen the film before you read it?
Yes. I watched it like a few years ago, but reading the script, I was remembering like kind of every moment of the film is very unique.
Yeah, we were saying it would be such a different experience if you hadn't watched the film. Like it could actually be quite confusing.
Yes.
Like there was some parts where it would like jump to another character where in the film it feels really smooth, but on the screenplay it's like, wait, who was that? Or like, I thought Vincent was dead. Wait, what? And it was like, I had to rewatch it again, which was amazing after reading it. Just a different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because what was the last time you watched the film?
Me? I don't know, like 10 years ago.
Wow. And you, Sania?
About 2 or 3 years ago. But whatever happened 2 or 3 years ago, because I was on antidepressants, is a blur. So I don't remember.
And then Pulp Fiction helped as well.
Especially one scene, I leave the room. I can't watch it.
Which one?
Well, with the I forgot the boxer name and his mafia boss, and they get into and Butch and the mafia. Marcel, when they get captivated and Marcel's being
Yeah, when I reread that this time around, I kind of not forgot about that scene, but I was like, oh, this was horrendous to watch. And then like reading it, there's so many things that Tarantino does with like, I don't know, it's like iconic scenes, like the dancing scene, which is like, for me, the best scene. But he writes it just as like, they move their hands and dance. And you're like, what? That's it. And it became that iconic. But then that scene with Butch, it's just like, so visceral. You can see it when he's writing it. Like he's got that down.
Regarding that dance scene in the script is I found it vague. And then when you see the film, then you see the space between the scripts and the actors, what they bring to the scene actually. That was like created this whole iconic scene though.
It's like that perfect example that we got taught of like writers are just to like choreograph something so subtle and let the director, I know Tarantino directs it, but if you were to give it to someone else and the actors and the location, like finish it off, like you're just setting a small part of the scene.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And it's crazy like how can he give us like a small glimpse of how his brain works? Because he just like, if we consider like the script as the blueprint for what he's going to direct later, he has like the minimum information and we see like this amazing scene. Like, wow. So your head is like just crazily creative, right?
Yeah, I know. How did you know that was going to work so well and be so famous?
Exactly.
And it's very uncharacteristic because he's a director who directed that, and directors who write their own scripts, they usually don't shy away. They write everything. They direct themselves on mine, but he didn't unless I read the wrong version of
it. Kind of feels like someone said, oh, they're going to give you this money, but you need to shorten it by this amount. So he probably had it like written out, like, fully. And then they were like, you need to cut it down a bit. And in his head, he knew how it was going to play out, but he just put like, they dance with their hands. And then like, I don't know. Because there's so many parts where, like you say, it's just so short. It's just like one sentence. Like, how can that scene be that whole scene in just one sentence? Yeah, amazing.
So now that we already started talking, which I love, this just flowing, right? We have a few questions that we sent in advance. and apologies for sending it like late evening on a Friday, right? Not considering any match in. So we're going to kick off with the first 9 questions. And then we have a 10th question that we didn't send because it might be interesting to just think about it in the moment. So if we go with the first question, what did you think of, well, we were talking about this just now, right? Like, what do we think or do you think of Pulp Fiction as a screenwriter rather than as a viewer? We mentioned this crazy creative skill that Tarantino has, but is there something else within there, like all of us as screenwriters might worth highlighting or sharing from this point of view?
So, yeah, that I found quite interesting. I mean, I didn't study script writing, I'm just learning. And the way that he describes the characters when he introduces them, well, I don't know if this is the right answer for the question, but it kind of gives them like a background already. Like you can visualize the character in the scripts. And when I compare them for what I saw like in the film, yeah, it's kind of there as well. And I found that very interesting. Yeah.
What I discovered is I forgot actually how funny the movie is. In fact, I didn't appreciate the humor when I was watching the movie, but when I was reading the script, the humor pops up and I found it funnier than the movie, actually, especially with Mia's when she tells the joke, because English is my third language. And when she says ketchup on the screen, I didn't get it. And then
I did that last night when I rewatched it. I was like, she doesn't say it like ketchup.
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons why his characters pop up, why they're so good, is because in everything he tries to put 2 or 3 characters and they banter and they sort of lay off their beliefs, their humor, they have that chemistry. So that's his technique. He doesn't take one character and I don't know, that character goes on a journey. That's the way he gets into characters' heads from the point of view of the other character. So I think that's a very good tool. And humor, of course. What else? He talks about food a lot. I didn't realize.
I know the links between the burgers. Like you see that, like I love the cheese and Royale scene so much. And like I was like laughing so much reading it because I remember how like amazing it is in that car. And then obviously you've got the next scene where he's like, "Can I taste your?" Is it the Big Kahuna? The Big Kahuna burger? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's it. And he's like, "Can I taste that?" And then you've obviously got the scene where she orders the burger and the milkshake. It's like all of the.
It starts with the breakfast.
Yeah.
And then coffee when they're cleaning the car. The Jimmy character, he drinks coffee. It's all palpable. It's like
exactly.
But it's also I feel that it's quite very American. Like it gives that like that film cannot be made in other country because even the language is like extremely Tarantino / American as well.
Yeah, like he uses references. Sorry. He uses references to like for you to imagine when you're reading it, and it's like you straight away imagine what kind of diner it is, what kind of like.
And it's crazy, like because at the end, all the characters in a moment start rambling or talking nonsense, but the food is the thing that keeps us grounded, right? Because all the characters need to eat, or eventually they're like, "Oh, I'm hungry now. Where is my food?" Right? So this character, despite being shot, doesn't get any bullet. He's hungry now, so he's gonna tell you a funny story with a lot of like violence and all that, but you want to have that burger or that cheese Royale, right? Or that Big Mac, because Big Mac is everywhere, right? Okay, so is there a scene or a character or a surprise when you were reading the script that you loved the most, or something that you didn't like at all?
And I think we should specify as well that it's the screenplay, because I keep doing it like what part of the film, but actually I felt like it was really different in the screenplay. So I think if it was like something that stuck out in the screenplay that wasn't helped by when you watched the film.
Yeah, for me it was like the adrenaline shot scene that I was like, I didn't want to stop reading it. I was like, oh my gosh. It was quite surprising for me to read that. I mean, it's quite an iconic scene as well. But I felt that it was written so well with all the beats to make you like, my gosh, no. Like, oh, he's going to put the shot. Nah. It's more like,
And it's different as well. Like he says, she's crawling towards the bathroom, and she obviously doesn't do that in the film at all. It's a lot more tension in the screenplay. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, it is. It's one thing that I kind of not hated, but it took me a bit. So I had to reread in the moment was like the big chunks of dialogue, mostly when they were referencing the Bible, because for me, it's like a bit different just to read like a big chunk of text, you know? So I was like, wait a minute, this is like this scene in the film. Okay, let me go back to the script. Because I was trying to think about the film, what I remember from that moment or not. So going back to the big chunks of text got me like, okay, I think I understand more what they were saying in the film.
Yes, exactly. That's also was for me, the big chunks. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like I'm trying to understand it with the kind of American slangs and everything. But then that was tricky. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so long, you know, like a whole thing. But then when you are actually watching it, I remember like I wouldn't feel that length as when you're reading it. And I feel that I've never read a script from a film before. And that was, I feel when I was reading those bits, I was amazed that actually it's not that much if we write, you know, like a whole chunk of text in the screen. I didn't have that kind of temporal sense, I think.
I think you're muted, Sanya. I'll come back.
I can't choose the scene that I hated. I don't think I hated any. I just had the two questions whilst I was reading. Like, he didn't write the script alone, didn't he? Anyway, it's how he decided to choose that scene. For example, with Butch, he could have showed us how he beat the other boxer to death. Like that's an obvious choice, but no, he didn't. We skipped that part to the part where he escapes the scene with the taxi driver. And again, through the taxi driver, we know about whatever we need to know about the character. The choice, how he decided to choose that exact scene, I think that's also a good way to learn as a screenwriter. Don't reach to the lowest apple or whatever.
I love that scene, that taxi scene, and I actually think it showed us more about Butch's character, the way he was a bit flirtatious and like, I don't know, that it like gave him a bit more depth rather than just the boxer who just killed someone. I felt like it was a really good way for us to learn more about his character.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I felt in the film the relationship between Butch and Fabienne, his girlfriend, way more silly, way more superficial, where in the script, I felt he was way more conscious of not being just a bad person with his girlfriend, right? So, oh, sorry, baby. And he just fixed what he was trying to say to her and just to be nicer. So I felt a human side way more palpable and more closer to the writer than just Bruce Willis being just like this boxer and not caring about anything about the love of his life, right? So it was a good point of comparison. That was interesting. Is there any scene or moment in the script that you want to like share or that stands out to you? Or
I'm trying to think of one that's not like the obvious iconic scenes. I love actually the scene where they're talking about the uncomfortable silence and actually when I loved it when it was written, but when you watch it as well, and she's like got the cherry in her mouth and it's like profile shot and it's like you can feel the sexual tension. I love then when they go into the house and he's like, is this an uncomfortable silence? And it's just like, I don't know, I just thought it was how their like relationship had grown through that night. It was just like so perfect. Just saying that one line, like they've actually grown so much. I loved it.
What difference do you notice on this one compared to the previous one you have read? Any, it doesn't matter the length, the formatting could be, all the speed, how the tension is built, how the characters are introduced, or is there something that stand out to you?
Yes, I think what I was saying before is like how the characters are introduced. I always thought that if I introduce a character, I will just need to talk about the physicality of them. He actually, I remember at the beginning, he says like, he has never done this. He has never paid his taxes. And I can immediately visualize someone in my imagination as a reader, rather than if he tells me like, he has black hair and muscly. Like I can, I don't know, see someone, in my head. And that was quite interesting because I always thought that I had to introduce them like physically or with a little bit of information. Yeah, that one got stuck in my head. And I also feel the pace of the dialogues that I could feel when I was reading, that was like a fast pace. Da, 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 da. Like I don't know how to express it in other words, but like I could feel it by reading it, like the tempo of the lines and I think that's different from, I mean, I have mainly read short films, not feature films, scripts. As I said, this is my first one, but I think those two things were like.
I agree with Valentina. I hate reading scripts. Awful thing to say for a screenwriter, but they can be boring.
Yeah.
But with this one, it reads like a novel, like a fiction. Yeah, I don't know how he did it. Probably I could hear his voice because he had this humor, and it probably also helped that I already know the film characters. If, as you said, Alex, if I didn't know the movie, if I just went into the script, I could have been confused a bit. I would have appreciated all the writing, but with a sequence of, hang on, okay, this. But he somehow still follows the structure, 3-act structure. This is the beginning, the middle, the end. I think he's a genius. And I read Sentimental Value just a couple of months ago before watching the movie, and it killed the movie for me, unfortunately. I felt like I already knew the movie and I wasn't that interested. Whilst with this, I want to go and rewatch Pulp Fiction again.
I was wondering why it kills the movie, because you didn't like the script.
No, I liked the script. I was trying to understand why everyone was buzzing about it. I absolutely loved The Worst Person in the World. But with this one, he was sort of he's just giving the emotions. It's a very actor-oriented script. And although I've never watched the movie, it was all in my head, and I don't know. Maybe I read it too well. Maybe I understood it too well. I just didn't need to watch it.
Yeah. Intrigued, like, what you think the beginning, middle, and end is of Pulp Fiction, because like I honestly have been trying to figure it out, because I think it's really, they all connect because of the boss, but it feels like short stories that all are connected as one film. But I can't figure out what, because obviously we're taught beginning, inciting incident, middle, and I can't figure out, maybe the inciting incident, I think, when Mia gets adrenaline shot. But I don't know. What do you think the middle is?
She caught me off guard. I don't know.
No, because I mean, I can't work out either. Like, I can't. It'd be good to like know what you guys think is the middle.
I think I have to go back, think about it, and come back with a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end we can see in each small story the structure, right? But that's a whole thing. Why do we make the highlights, right?
Yeah.
To keep up with a proper structure, or like a classic structure, right?
Yeah.
Would it be after that all of the characters are introduced?
Mm.
And then we can count from there, like the middle? No, I don't know.
No, it's kind of, I kind of felt maybe it was when, is it Marseille, the boss? Is it when he's then finally weak? Is that the turning point? I don't know. I think that maybe a bit too late.
That could be at the end, because like all the characters have this presence of this bigger, not enemy, but this bigger character that is controlling, of watching everything or making do other things, bad things, right? And then eventually we see him finally, and we're like, that was
like you're all being controlled by this guy.
What?
Yeah. I think it's probably something to do with him, but yeah, I've been really trying to figure it out. I know, so like we might never know.
Exactly, it's like an antithesis of the what we academically know of what should be, right?
Yeah, I feel like we need to just ignore like what we've been taught and try and figure out what the middle is, because I'm trying to do it in a way that like we've been taught on the masters, but I think because it's so different to that anyway, it's like his own middle, not to the rules.
On that note, it's like when you have produced a film, you would know like that you get the script and you record something completely different. I mean, try to stick to it, but like production things or like life happens right in between. So I always, when I first watched the film, I thought, okay, they're repeating the scene. No, not that repeating, but like going back to that one. Maybe they just did that as a like addition, post-production decision, and it wasn't on the script. And now that I read the script, it's like, so this was like the plan from the very first That's interesting because again, it breaks the whole three-act structure that I had in my head, right?
Yeah, it's so true. I didn't think of that, but that's so true. Like, yeah, that's not a post-production thing. That's from the beginning and all of it, like the whole script. Yeah.
Mad. Yeah. What do you think that makes this screenplay feel unmistakably Tarantino? Is it this breaking the structure, or is it the characters just rumbling and what's the?
It's his voice is absolutely distinct. You can hear him. He's very racist, nigger, mongoloid. It's all there, and I know he's written it ages ago.
Yeah, it's 1994 when that was.
Mm.
I mean, it's a fiction though, so
Yeah, well,
you can do racist characters anyways.
It's like an excuse, right, for the writer. It's like, oh, I want to write these. Okay, a character will say for me.
Yeah, like Inglourious Bastards, he just goes to town. He goes to absolute town on it. Yeah.
I can absolutely see because he didn't go to a film school. That's probably why he didn't follow the structure. But he went to movies all the time, and he absolutely loved Japanese movies, the cowboy spaghetti westerns, and you could again see it when Butch when he chooses the sword. I can absolutely and when Mia is talking about the TV pilot she participated in, she talked about the group of women. I could absolutely see Kill Bill. It's he talks in the same. It's like they all happen in the same universe, Tarantino universe, and I could see all the culture, pop culture that he was raised on, and the way people talk, and they're very talkative, very lengthy dialogues, obviously.
Yeah, I feel, like the universe of his world is quite unique because even if he's creating this, like, in our society, the way he portrayed them, they are quite romanticized. It's kind of like a tale rather than. I mean, we know that these people can exist, and there are many movies with these kind of characters. The way that he portrays the stories is kind of like a tale of these characters. And of course, like the way that the characters speak is very Tarantino. I mean, I did a master in acting for screen, and I remember when we had to do like some Tarantino's scenes, I got an accent, first of all. And trying to do those lines were very hard, and it's quite unique.
I think the comedy value with the violence is like so Tarantino. The hamburger scene, for example, and it kind of. But then all the way through, not just that scene, it's like whenever there's violence about to happen, he makes it like comedy, but also the character's quite messy and awkward. You feel like, is it actually going to be violent? You kind of feel like a bit safe, but you shouldn't feel safe. So it still shocks you when something happens, even though there's always violence involved. And I think he does that in most of his films. In any of his films when there's like a lot of violence, like Reservoir of Dogs scene with the song and the ear, it's like there's still comedy to it, even though it's so violent. I just think that's so Tarantino.
It goes like beyond violence. It's like quite visual. It's not that violence that you're like, oh my God, like more like psychologically, it's very visual and like in your face. And I think that's like a very thin line with comedy.
Yeah.
And what do you think that works? Why this technique works? Is this because trying to make the audience to bear more the brutality and the violence is going to show us in just a few seconds later, or just happened a few seconds ago? Or why this comedy needs to be there or happens to be there?
It's a good question. I just don't think Tarantino can write, like, I think he needs more depth to the violence. He needs you to know the characters and learn something new about that character from every violence scene. It doesn't need to just be violence. He needs more depth to it. And I don't know where it'd be good, like, it'd be so good to know if he writes the violence first and then the dialogue around it and the action and the amazing lines, or he writes that first and then puts in the violence.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just writes it all together and it's just an absolute genius.
Exactly.
Just rolls out into this like an amazing scene, but it's like how they're like two separate things and he puts them together and it makes it Tarantino. It's like, obviously there's other people that do it, but not like Tarantino. I think it's like,
I think I can tolerate his violence there because, as you said, Alex, he doesn't do violence just for the sake of violence, but he almost justifies it very subtly. Like you can understand why whether it's a moment of humor or okay, that guy has had to die because he'd done something, although they don't tell us what exactly he'd done, but we're kind of, oh, okay, it's gory, but okay, you had to die. You tolerate it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel that it's also because when you get into that universe, you know, if you see something violent, you'll be like, oh my God. And then, but what he does is like, we see one and then another one and another one. And it's like your emotions keep on flowing, and laughing.
Yeah.
Just the first, like, I don't know, cut of an ear is like, oh my God. And then another one and another one. That being the climax of the film. It's like,
Mhm.
it's everywhere. And you just
Yeah.
go with that violent flow, and that makes it, I think, leads to the comedy, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's grateful. And on that note, we have this crazy violent script, but at the same time, iconic scenes that just remain in the subconscious of everyone who's watched the film, right? What do you think makes those scenes so popular or timeless? Because I really don't know. Or like all their iconic scenes, like the cheese Royale, right? Like, what is it? It's like
Or the
the
dancing.
ridiculousness on them. Or yeah, or the dancing, exactly. It's like, is there an expected situation inside of this kind of like roller coaster of emotions within the story? Or
I think every scene you think is just, sometimes it's like, what are they even talking? Like, how did this conversation even come about? And then you realize, like, 2 scenes down the line, that it means more. It actually does have meaning to it, and it keeps you. I don't know. I think that's it's not answering the question though. Like, what makes it so timeless?
I mean, I don't think we have to like come up with one solid answer, right? Which is like,
You know, like what I feel, if I haven't seen, what happened if we just read the script but we don't see the film? Would it be the script like iconic by itself, or is like the actors and all of the art and costumes that were, you know, how they were dressed up, and the music the music is on the script? Is that what makes the script iconic?
100%. But I think he had that all planned as he was writing the script. Like, I think even though, you just read one line and it's like, that's so vague. I think he would have had that so visual in his head.
Because he knew the
I imagine,
actors he
like,
wanted to work with, isn't that right?
well, they weren't all the ones that he first wanted, because I looked this up yesterday because I was intrigued, because
really?
Bruce Willis.
Did you know that?
No, so I think Mia was. John Travolta wasn't his first choice, and John Travolta like makes that character.
He was doing romantic stuff, you know, and he was like kind of dying, and then he took it.
Yeah, because when I'm reading the script, don't see Bruce Willis. Like, I don't think he fits Butch well at all. He does, like, honestly, I love Bruce Willis, but I don't think he's like my least favorite character. He makes Butch my least favorite character. I don't know what it is about him, but I don't think it fits. Like, but yeah, so the characters weren't in his head when he was writing them. I mean, they're so well fitted now, apart from Bruce. But yeah, I think what makes like you say, the costumes so iconic. But I wonder if he probably didn't know that when he was writing it. Yeah, the dancing scene. I mean, they're so tight. Like, people still dress as Maya for Halloween.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, when he was writing it, I wonder if he ever thought that dance scene was going to be so famous, or like the lines that we still know. Yeah, how many years have been? 22 years, and we still, like, I was watching it and I was mimicking the lines as I was watching it. I was like, imagine you wrote a script and people were doing that watching it 22 years later.
What makes it Tarantino as well, because he's talking about foot massage for women, and we know how Tarantino women. It is you, Tarantino. It's your thoughts. Yeah, it's a lot of his words there, but he puts it into their mouth. You know it's Tarantino, but at the same time you believe it's that character's thoughts as well. That's masterful.
Yeah. And it's crazy how much of your own personal life you add to the script at the end without doing that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when when we're studying screenwriting, or like they always tell you, like, okay, find your voice, speak from there, like no place for you, and then put it out there, like then create the fiction, right? I wonder, okay, I don't think he has killed these many people in his life, or any. Or any. It's like, can you imagine? No, Tarantino, I'm not calling you a killer. Let's keep that out. But Like, does he talk like that with like his friends internally, or like? I'm just curious, like, because at the end we add things from ourselves. When we, I don't know, we had an experience like in a diner, I don't know, or in a restaurant, we might like grab some bits like we've seen. So, what elements of the reality he has lived are in the actual script, right? Maybe he
But,
just
like-
came up with someone, or like did a sniff, and wow, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Sonia was saying, I think a lot of it's from pop culture. He takes a lot of it from other films. Obviously, he does
Mhm.
no other films are like this, but you can see things like you say, The Sword, and very American, like the diners, and but how he writes that in the screenplay, he uses an example of some of them. I don't know what this means, like, but when you watch it, it makes sense. I don't know. I think a lot of it is from culture, like other films and music. Like music's such a huge part of his films.
Yeah,
But like
it's true.
it'd be so weird if we went for dinner with him and it was just talking like the character.
Can you imagine?
We'd be like no friends. We'd be like, this guy is hard work.
Can you imagine that he speaks like Stevie?
He wrote the book. He published the book, couple in 2023, I think. And I went to London to see him talking about it. And the guy is intense.
He's intense.
Edgar Wright was interviewing him, and he was like, the way he talks like that all the time. Whatever we think Tarantino is, he is like that, and he is super smart. I was surprised how clever he was. I wasn't expecting. I don't know, like some geek who just like movies a lot. Lives more in that world rather than in the real world. But the way I can't give you an example of, but he talked about movies a lot. That book that he published gives all the movies and everything he grew up with. So it explains a lot why Tarantino is the way Tarantino is. And as you said, Noam, that you find your voice by revealing what really concerns you, what really is you, what you're worried about. It becomes your voice, and then you write something and you discover that actually a lot of people relate to it, connect to it immediately. I think that's one of the reasons why Tarantino's scripts, movies are still relatable and could be a classic. Even we have no idea what the gangster world is.
Yeah.
But he still makes it very relatable through food or whatever.
Yeah, so true.
Is it like all his characters are human at the end? Human, right? I think that could be like the element that connects it all at the end. And food, of course. Yeah. And well, we are like near the time, but like we have only 3 questions left. So considering all these characters and the way that they talk and all that, is there a character that stands out for you or that has the clearest arc throughout the story?
I think for me, it was Jules. Because he was from the gangster who thought that he was like a god and citing the Bible and taking the lives. He went into, actually, I'm not the god. God saved me. I'm in no position to be a killer anymore. I think that's otherwise I struggled.
Yeah. Because all the other characters stay the same throughout. Even at the end, they're still the same. But Jules actually experiences like an internal change where he doesn't want to do it anymore. And it's I think he's the only one that he is, right? He's the only one that experienced that. I think it's definitely Jules.
Yeah, I agree. Although the arc of Vincent also caught my attention because I'm always intrigued when a character dies in a film because like the character whenever he learns something is useless to continue like his presence in the script, or you send it to like a trip, or you just kill him. So in this case, Vincent's I can't touch Mia at all. Right. And then when he like tried to save her, he's touching her, right? In a way. And then eventually he dies. Right. So it's like, wait a minute. So what's his mission just like to, or objective to like not trespass the limit. And then when he does it, he gets killed. It's like, you know what I mean? It's a sad one, but it caught my attention because like it kind of works that way. But like what you mentioned, Sunny, is like, Jules is like the character that had like this inner change, right? Like all his beliefs are like shaken and up, and it's like, okay, I don't have to follow this guy anymore. Like God, it's like, yeah.
And it's great how it's like the repeating the first ever scene for him to show this change. It's like, I mean, it's genius. You don't even realize he's in that diner for that scene, and then it's
Yeah,
a great way to end the film.
it is. Yeah.
Round.
What does the light in the briefcase mean? You know, he opens the briefcase and it's this light coming out. What does it? What? What is it? I literally have no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm dialing.
I was like, rewatching it. I was like, oh no, we don't actually know. I think it's just for us to like, whatever we want it to be.
I think so. Yeah. How you call that technique? I forgot the name.
Is there a technique for that?
Yeah, like when like the character have like this thing, and at the end, usually a box like a suitcase, whatever, or whatever, and then you show the character watching it, but not giving the information of what's inside to the reader and or the viewer. This next session, I'll be back with that with the concept.
Yeah.
Because now my mind is just like brain fog, but on that concept. But like, anyway,
It's cool. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Alex, because as classic writers, you say as Chekhov's gun, you show the gun, it needs to shoot at one point. And with this, Tarantino thought, fuck it, I'll have a laugh, and everyone will still think, what was that about?
Yeah.
Never shoots.
Yeah, and we probably will never know.
No. That's the whole point, maybe.
Yeah.
I just Googled really fast. It's called the MacGuffin effect.
I thought
Yeah.
So I might get more info for next session about this, but interesting that they at the end use the MacGuffin effect, right? So as you said, Alex, like it is what we wanted it to be, right? Like what the missing piece we had after watching these films, like okay, that's it, right?
And like not to be
maybe I don't know.
Yeah, well, not to be deep, but it's enlightenment. Like that's what he's getting at. He wanted freedom and like from it all, and that's what that is. I don't know.
Even it could be like a Machis Royale, right? Like
yeah.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
Yeah, I would want it to be a cheese royale.
With fries, please.
Yeah.
And regular Coke.
Yeah.
And if we take this script to a academic environment, do you think would it be successful in that environment? Considering all the metrics when we grade it.
I mean, we would get told to rewrite it at the masters, not in like just because it's not ticking. I'm sure our tutors would have loved it and been like, "You're amazing, but you're not ticking all the boxes that you need to tick here. Like, where is the middle? Where is the, like, why don't you know?
Why is it in the guitar case?
Yeah. I don't think you'd tick enough boxes to.
That's crazy, no? Because he did like an amazing film without having a clear structure in his mind, and the film actually works. And we can follow the structure or the academic part of it and try to make a script, but also like, can we do something that doesn't follow those rules and still be amazing?
Yeah. Well, one of the tips that I give to my students in CMS is the best way to write a script is being aware of all the rules when writing a script, but break every single one of them. And if it doesn't work, well, rewrite it till you make it work. And usually it tends to, okay, we should follow a bit more of the rules, right? But it's the exercise of like breaking every rule to just like put yourself out there and just, all right, what can I do to, because some people might not understand like fancy the three-act structure, and it works like, I don't know, maybe a fourth, or like this one, it's more circle one. Right. So it's like, okay, where can I like feel comfy in the method that I want to tell a story at the end?
But like you need to know the rules to be able to break them. That's important, right? You need to know the rules very well to know how to break them well.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can't just break rules by just rating them, right? Just one coffee. Yeah.
But you accidentally doing it then, aren't you? Or like, and it might feel a bit, messy.
Yeah. All right. And we have, sorry.
No.
We've came to like the end of our session, and we have a cliffhanger question for the next session. And is, at what point does a writer's style becomes recognizable as their own? And in this case, when did Tarantino became Tarantino, and what might our own version of that moment look like in the future?
What could be our own stamp in a way, if we think about it? I have no idea yet. It's good to think about.
Yeah.
Well, for Tarantino, I think he was so brave. He just went. He had fun. He had lots of fun because he's Tarantino. He didn't have to take it to masters and say, but this and this wrote it that way, and the master's mentor would go, but you're not this and this. So he just went with it. And as everyone here said before, he put a lot of his own
Yeah, and he wasn't scared at his time of being judged, I feel.
Yeah, he was very.
Yeah.
So
I feel
that
like that's quite hard now. Everyone's very scared of that.
Yeah. In a moment where social media wasn't a thing. So easier to just to write whatever, easier. And then eventually the repercussion of it will come. Maybe you saw in a magazine, maybe in a newspaper. But now it's like, oh, the trailer is sad or whatever. It said this and it's immediately like cancer. It's like, well, can you watch the whole thing before judging? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I wanna, right?
Yeah, I think
Already put something into your head before you've even gone to see it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like now if you write something that is racist, but the fiction is racist, it doesn't mean that you are a racist person. But I feel that now people is being judged because they do that. You know, like you wrote about a rape, you're a rapist, we need to cancel you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But well, think about it for the next section.
But we've
which
chose the
really-
next film as well, haven't we? We've chosen the next
yes.
screenplay.
So, but maybe before showing or mentioning the next trip, we also want to read whatever you want us, like as a group, to read. So we'll eventually send a link during the next week. Just type the name of the film or the script, even if you haven't seen it, you want to read and analyze as a group. And then we just make a raffle, and then we'll pick it up, and then we'll eventually read it. So yeah, and our next script is.
Was I meant to say it? Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. That was a
It
kid.
was like watching waiting.
We didn't practice this.
what are you doing? No.
I'm so sorry. I was like watching
Sorry,
it.
sorry.
It's Moonlight.
Moonlight.
Moon.
Have you seen that? Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yes. Please don't watch it. Let's just read the script, and then we can see and compare. Okay, but you watch it. So you haven't. We can have interesting conversation over there. Regarding this.
Yeah. It's such a good film.
It's
So
a good
you're in
film,
for a
but
treat.
in a way,
I kind of wish I hadn't seen it so I could read Was that what you were going to say? Yeah.
kind of. Yeah. So yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. This is a very first session of the Screenplay Society. We really hope that you have enjoyed it. And yeah, see you soon. We'll keep you posted. And if you're watching us in a delayed version on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, leave your comments below. Let us know what did you think about this first session. And if you want to join us, also comment, and we can send you the link for the submission to join us. And so we can all be here having fun, just reading scripts and in a comfy way, in an academic environment. So welcome and thank you again. This is Noam and Alex. We genuinely believe that one of the best ways to become a better screenwriter is simple. Read more screenplays.
That's why we started the Screenplay Society. Whether you're writing your first script or your 50th, we'd love for you to join us.
Read with us, challenge your ideas, and fall in love with the screenwriting craft all over again.
The Screenplay Society. Come for the conversation.
Stay for the stories.